Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, other central banks are reacting to the US Fed rise. But first, American house building jumped in February with the construction of single-family houses to a near 10-year high. Housing starts were up 6.2% above February last year, and building permits were 4.4% higher. A regional factory report out overnight from the Philadelphia Fed showed some interesting trends. Even though its activity index declined, its new orders gauge hit a highest level since December 1987. Prices paid for inputs and prices charged for outputs hit 6-year highs. And 60% of firms in the area said they faced labour shortages. Almost 70% said they faced skill shortages. These are serious rumblings of inflation, and the competition for available skills is getting serious. And the new president released his 2018 budget. It claims to be neutral with a claimed budget deficit of $392 billion, or 2.3% of GDP. It shows that the deficit persists and will grow to $443 billion in 2020, the same as the current year result. The released documents reveal deep cuts in social programs, as expected, rises for defence, and absolutely no detail on tax revenue plans. Without revenue guidance, this document has zero credibility. In a confused move, China's central bank raised interest rates hard on the heels of the US Fed. It lifted interest rates of two open market operation tools, the 6-month medium-term lending facility and the 1-year lending facility, were each up by 10 basis points to reach 3.05% and 3.2% respectively. But they claim it is not a rate hike, but it does raise borrowing costs. The Bank of Japan seems relaxed with its policy settings. It is benefiting from global tailwinds and US monetary policy divergence, so it left its policy unchanged when it concluded its 2-day rate-setting meeting. In the UK, the Bank of England reversed its 0.25% policy rate and also kept it unchanged. It's not really news, but what is that for the first time in almost a year there was a dissenter, one who thinks inflation is stirring and wants to raise rates there. That seems to put a floor under the declining rate sentiment in Europe. In Australia, the federal government there is prioritising hydroelectricity generation in a big way. But in dry years, that strategy will bite their economy, and they're known to have extended periods of low rainfall. And even getting that built might have pitfalls. In New York, the US Treasury 10-year yield is at 2.53%. Locally, we saw notable drops in rates across the board. In fact, the 2-year swap rate is now at levels we last saw in December 2016. The 1-year swap is back to levels last seen in September 2016. Oil prices are fractionally higher today, now just under $49 for the US benchmark, while the Brent benchmark is just under $52 a barrel. The gold price is up sharply, up by $16 to $1,226 an ounce. But the New Zealand dollar is lower today at 69.8 US cents. On the cross rates, the Kiwi dollar is at 90.9 Aussie cents, and against the euro, 65 euro cents. The TWI is at 74.9. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.